Hey, are you there?
What? What are you doing? You called me.
Let's do this, man. Come on.
Let's do it.
Welcome to a very snowy, cold, one might say
Burr.
frigid
Frigid. I would concur.
Sunday afternoon as we watch the AFC and NFC championship games on the football.
Yeah.
Brock-
Broncos.
yeah, Broncos look
Couldn't
like
close it.
they couldn't quite do
Couldn't
it.
close
So
it.
Patriots. Have the Patriots ever won a Super Bowl before?
Tom who? I don't know.
Anyway, whatever. And now we watch the Los Angeles Rams try to compete with the Seattle Seahawks.
We're
And
pulling for Seattle tonight.
we're pulling for Seattle. We decided it's just what's going to
Why
happen.
not?
As you may have noticed, Brian and I are sitting next to each other. So welcome to another episode of
In
Tweet It Out's
person.
podcast in person.
Yeah. Snowpocalypse 2026.
Bum, 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 bum. I wish we could have like remember the music on what was that? The Who Wants to Be a Millionaire with
Yes.
yes. That's
Yeah.
what it was, right?
Yeah.
You know what we've been doing a little bit of in the last few days is talking about the difference in opinions between voice teachers
Yeah.
and vocal pedagogy in general.
Indeed.
My hair is rather flat. I'm just gonna. You look great in
Flat
your cap.
is well, I got
There
a
we
flat.
go.
It's a flat cap.
You got a flat cap.
Flat
The
cap.
FC.
There you go.
Uh,
Yeah. Riff on that, baby.
we've been talking about the difference in opinion between, voice teachers that we've had, other opinions of voice teachers,
Sure.
philosophies, in and up versus down and out.
Speaking about support in
yeah.
connection of the body in general.
Appoggio, yeah. Appoggiare, to lean.
Yeah.
I don't know. There are so many different opinions when you think about, oh, what is this teacher? Oh, you're studying with fill in the blank.
Yeah.
What do they talk about? Oh, they talk a lot about vowels. Okay, what does that mean? Oh, they talk a lot about support. What does that mean? Sure. And so many different opinions can sometimes be a good thing if you're trying to collect thoughts and ideas in order to have a better understanding of what are the varieties of ways of pursuing any given thing. But I tell you what, if you're just a singer and you're just like, I just want to know how to do this.
Yeah.
It can be rather confusing and intimidating, I think, to not only, let's say, hear the different opinions, but maybe like know that there are so many different opinions out there. And then you're like,
Yeah.
well, which one is it? Do I go up and in? Do I go down and out? Do I think up and back? Or do I think, like there's so many different ways to approach it. And it's like, the thing that I've always said to my students, I don't think that there's any teacher that's out there trying to purposefully create, like a tougher time for the student. It's like, I think everybody's out there trying to help.
I mean, that's good for both parties, right? You sing better, then your reflection of your good singing reflects back on the teacher. Absolutely.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, without getting too much in the weeds in this, I think that certain techniques, okay, if a teacher has a specific technique, then you can get, okay, so if you get your color, your, oscuro from a certain way, and you get your chiaro from a certain other way,
Right.
then, that's why we've talked about this a lot, right? As far as like,
my hair.
I love it. It's fine. As far as like, if you're going to study with a teacher, you should kind of give enough time to where you can understand their full philosophy.
Yeah, you can't have 2 or 3 lessons with a teacher and be like, no.
I mean, not if you're, yeah.
Well, especially if you're coming into that relationship from a place where you've already studied with a teacher for 4 years. Let's say that you've already done your undergrad with a teacher for 4 years, and now you're going to a new school and studying with a teacher for 2 years for your master's. and you obviously already have a very preconceived understanding and notion and
Sure.
thought about, well, my teacher said that this is what you should do about this, 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 and this.
And that's what's got me to this point.
Right. And then you get with a new teacher at a, let's assume a better school, a higher level, you're right.
Sure.
And they say something that might be in complete contrast
Yeah.
with what you've learned initially.
Yeah.
That is not,
Absolutely.
first of all, that's not a weird thing. That is a normal
I
thing.
think this happens all the
I
time.
think this happens a lot.
Yeah.
So what do you do? To your point, you got to give it a chance.
Right.
I mean, obviously, you came to this school because this school is considered to be blah 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 blah,
Has a
whatever.
reputation or
Okay,
whatever. Yeah.
and you've studied with this teacher either because you know them by name, or you've been assigned to them, or whatever it is.
Mhm.
But first of all, let's say this: do your research, right? Like, know who
Right.
these people are,
Right.
understand the career that they've had, understand who they have studied with, so that you understand the lineage that you're sort of becoming a part of. I think it's so important for teachers to a stay true to what uh they know and understand. And
Yeah.
I mean, there's like three conversations in my head going on right
Yeah.
now.
Yeah.
As a
Yeah.
teacher at an institution, it can also be very easy to be swayed. Oh, okay,
This
everyone else.
teacher is so
Yeah,
popular, and yeah.
or like, let's say that the agreed upon. Let's say that there's only four teachers at a particular institution.
Right.
Well, we always encourage a very bright forward sound.
Mhm.
Why? Why do we do that? You know what I mean?
The
Like, what are
only
we trying
reason
to do?
I'm about to say the only reason I can think somebody encourages a singer to do that is because they think they're going to get cut
Yeah.
and they're going to get brilliance, which they will, but at what cost?
Right. Or they don't know anything and they're just saying, well, bright and forward is very safe. No one can say anything
Until it's not
until it's not, right?
right.
Because is
My
that what we want?
yeah,
No.
my first voice teacher was very much of this, persuasion.
Right.
Questo quello per me Parisi. And they're like, listen to Pavarotti. That's how he sounds. And I was like,
What's funny is you don't realize how obscuro that just was. It was so baritonal. It's like that.
well, we've been singing a little bit today, so maybe my throat was more open than it used to be back in the day. But it sounded. I go back and listen to those tapes. It's very nasal. Yeah. And I challenge anybody to say this: if your teacher tells you to put it forward in the mask, do that without the base of your tongue being tight, and I'll give you $100.
Yeah,
I'll
right.
give you that for free because I really, for the life of me, cannot figure out how to get the sound. Yeah,
That has so much upper back space
without.
to it, though. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, not.
Yeah.
You
Okay,
know what I'm saying? Here's what this is the confusion. This is the thing, though,
You're
right?
totally right. You're totally right.
This is where, okay, it needs to be more forward. What forward to one person is
Yeah.
different from forward to another person. And if you're used to swallowing something, forward to you might be going from here to here.
Right.
When we're trying to get you to go to here, and
Yeah.
you're here. I mean, oh my God. This is why these conversations are so important to have, because I think that, again, everyone is after the same result. Everyone wants a
balanced-
beautifully balanced sound
That projects well and sounds like
that carries in the house and carries over the orchestra. Has legato, is beautiful aesthetic, all these things.
And there may be different ways to get that, but okay, so I wanted to go. This is what I was thinking about when I was talking about. So I studied with a teacher for a time that got the oscuro
Mm-hmm.
by having the lyrics really down and low, perhaps maybe press.
Not good.
But the way that you can, okay, so that because of all the soft tissue in like involvement there,
Yeah.
that sound does not travel very well. It might
Right.
sound really cool next to one another,
Yeah. Within a 3 foot, 4 foot,
but the upper partials are dampened in a way by that soft tissue involvement that doesn't allow the voice to
right.
get on out there. And so the way that teacher said that you get the brilliance of the sound is by thinking a more pure vowel. So if I wanted to say ah and sing it on a, quasi high pitch, if I go ah, and then I think, oh, no, but a really pure ah, it goes ah. That's tight as shit. I'll tell you that right now. Okay. Does it sound bad? Doesn't sound great. It doesn't
Sounds
sound terrible.
I'd say this, it sounds very loud
Well,
sitting right next to
and let's say we're not, size queens here, but at the same time, the voice needs to travel. The voice needs to travel.
right.
But that kind of sound, I'll tell you right now from firsthand experience, does not travel super duper well in
The
past the
house.
orchestra.
That's right. That's right.
And if you want to get more closure, which is squeezed in that particular
Reference.
yeah.
Sure.
But if you want to get it, like if you want that buzz to carry out and zing more, you have to squeeze more on that vowel to get a pure vowel. I no
Yes.
longer subscribe to that, by the way.
Yeah, I don't think that pure vowels are something that I mean, let's say this. We want to maintain the integrity of the vowel. So in other words, I don't know how much aggiustamento
See,
one needs to use. And I'm talking about once they're in the passaggio, the secondo, right? So like as the voice turns over,
sure.
for me personally at an E natural F into the top, for you probably a F sharp G, I don't know,
I don't know. I
whatever.
like to think
Or
about already. I try these days to think that I'm at least half turned on an E natural, if not fully turned by the F for sure.
and then that allows
Definitely by the
your
time I get to
G and A
G,
flat and A natural and anything above
it's a
is already
balloon,
in yeah,
but
yeah.
it's not. It's ooh.
And here's the thing, like so if I'm thinking that my E natural is already turned, I'm not suggesting that my E flat is wide open,
Sure.
right? It has to be a gradual curve, right? So like if this is where the E natural is, the E flat is here. It's not here,
I love this.
right? So it's here. And I'm not sure exactly what this shape is, but I'm just that's the way I think of it in my own brain for whatever reason.
Well,
What?
I'm sorry. Please finish,
Well,
and then I'm gonna just piggyback.
I'm just saying that I think it's what it feels like as you approach, let's say middle C, D,
Yeah, I love it.
E flat,
Go.
natural F,
Yes.
G, A flat, A
There you
natural,
go. If you're reading,
and
yeah.
then B flat for me is like one time I remember like I was in a hotel room and I was playing around with the end of the second act of Traviata.
Right.
Felici afferma. I was gonna go because I think
Somebody did that. Mills or
maybe
something.
somebody did that. Somebody took it up an octave, and afferma is what it normally
In
does.
case anybody's wondering what's in this Yeti,
Water.
it's no. This is coffee.
Oh, it's
It's iced coffee. I know it's 10 degrees outside, but iced coffee is my way to go.
Listen, it's where you
Listen, I was gonna say, like, Weston and I both had a period of time where we studied with Stephen Smith, and he has an exercise that goes ni ne na no no.
Yeah.
And I have taken that exercise and just added the hand gesture of ni ne, so half turned, na, fully turned, as you do 1 3 5 3 1. And that has helped. These hand gestures help encourage, I think, my younger singers laryngeal tilt in a way that's ni ne na instead of ni ne na. That makes me hurt. Even
I tell
thinking
you
about
what.
it.
I tell you what. The thing that and let's say this as any voice category rises in pitch, ascends towards where it would be necessary to gather
Mm,
or to collect,
sure.
narrow, whatever.
La
you wanna call it.
cogliere de vol.
Yeah. Uh, an ah vowel is perhaps not the ideal vowel, and so I've actually thought about flipping it and going na, ne, na, no. So you flip it.
Yeah.
The ah is on the bottom. The more gathered closed vowel is at the top, which encourages the closure on the chords, which encourages the gathering, which encourages all the things.
Sure.
Now, can we always choose to do that? No, but if we can figure out what that feels like to
And
na
then
ne ni
right.
and then ni ne na to do an ah vowel like an e vowel
Well, yeah.
in that gather.
Because it's interesting, right? Because I think this is chicken egg, yin yang.
Yeah,
Can
what
you
comes
come-
first, the closure or the breath? Is that what you're going to go with?
Well, yeah, exactly. And like, how do we get to that kind of 50-50 closure, color, flow, resistance
Right.
kind of a situation, especially through passaggio. Because I think if we're talking Donizetti, if we're talking Verdi, we're talking about guys who were writing with vocal technique in mind. Not
Yeah.
every composer had the knowledge and expertise, I would say,
Well, sure.
as we were just looking at maybe Carmina Burana a little bit, or Berlioz for that matter.
It's just,
No,
I don't know.
these guys were not. Berlioz, as wonderful and as much as I love his music, was not thinking about, is this vowel the best through the passaggio? No. He wrote his libretto and he wrote his music. Both
Right.
are amazing, but it takes a certain kind of like just navigation, let's say,
Yeah.
through those vowel minefields of the tessitura, of that kind of stuff.
It's totally true.
But anyway, yeah, you were saying just about
Well, I
flipping
don't know.
that exercise on its head a little bit.
I think the thing that has helped me understand my top in a more efficient way is to understand how you can have stretch and you can have height and space with like a lifted palate and a low
Right?
larynx and
Sure.
a
All good
yawn.
things.
But while the speed of the air, the spin of the air, the energy needs to be increased, the quantity of the breath cannot be. And I think that with vowels that encourage a looser closure or a less, like a more abducted ah, ah, as opposed to e. So it's trickier because especially when you're going above the passaggio into that for a baritone, let's say F sharp,
Hmm.
F sharp, G, it's so important that the chords stay closed, not from muscular squeeze, but from efficiency of vowel choice and stretch and laryngeal tilt.
Yeah.
I don't know. Uh,
Uh,
uh, not. It's so it can either be loose or it can be efficient.
Well, and I think that I agree with everything that you're saying, and I think that as I think about the different singers that I work with over the course of a month, some at IU, some in New York, some blah,
Yeah,
blah, blah, and like certain, the tendency of a singer, and especially tenors, right? Tenors have a tendency to go, yeah, and so there's
like too small.
it's impressed. And like I wouldn't say they have too much closure as much as they have too much press. Maybe the closure is not that necessarily off. What do you think about this? I know that you and I both studied with teachers who think about the idea of floppy chords. I'm saying that
Yeah.
you don't think so much about that anymore, or do you?
Well, it depends because while I want to make sure that my chords are adducted
Mm-hmm.
as opposed to
The
abducted.
uh-huh.
Um, I don't necessarily think about rigid or tight
Sure.
chords by any means. I just feel that there's a sensation difference between, and I had to like demonstrate, but like there is a definite sensation difference between ah and
Well,
ah.
those are two opposite
Well, and I'm trying
spectrums.
to be
Yeah,
very,
sure,
very
sure.
exaggerated to show the
Good.
difference. So does not feel tight.
Uh-huh.
Oh, feels loose and flabby.
Loosey goosey.
Now, can you find ah ah
Hmm.
and also think that it's a little flabby feeling?
Sure,
Maybe,
maybe.
maybe. And I think that if you're able to find, let's say this, if as long as you're achieving closure so that there's no loose air escaping, so that there's not any abduction happening,
Mhm.
and yet have the thought in your mind of loose and flabby chords and have that be something that benefits you because then you don't engage other localized muscular effort to
Sure.
create well, oh great. Okay, that's great.
Right.
Because I think that I mean one of the highlights of Stephen Smith, Steve
Yeah.
Smith's technique is to sing without any localized muscular effort, meaning the jaw, the tongue, the
Especially
laryngeal
the base of the
constrictors,
tongue.
base
Yeah.
of the tongue, yeah. the intrinsic and extrinsic vocalis muscles, all of those laryngeal constrictors,
Right.
um, finding that even in the shoulders and in the pecs, like all of this
Right.
being very free and loose and open when you're
Sure.
saying. I mean, that was Steve Smith's,
I agree 100%. Yeah.
you
And
know, goal.
it's interesting because, and I'm not throwing anybody under the bus. I take all the weight on this over on my shoulders. Is that when I got some feedback after having switched to Steve Smith, after a while, that was kind of like, well, you might be singing with a lot more ease, but you've lost your calling card, which was squealo and
Oh
was
yeah.
kind of like trumpety kind of sound.
Well, sure.
Now,
I mean, that would be normal if you came from a place where you were maybe
exactly.
squeezing a little bit, or maybe doing something that was creating, and then you loosen and free.
Yeah.
I mean, there's always, like we said, it's
The
all about
pendulum,
balance.
yeah, and
It's
the pendulum
always
can
about.
swing too far. But I have to say, he he was maybe the only teacher to really encourage me to find a "mm, mm." So if I can find it with the head voice mix "mm, mm," and then kind of bring the
As opposed to what?
as opposed to which is like, look how forward I can make this sound.
And,
Questo
and
qua-
maybe a little too squeezed,
You think?
maybe, maybe.
Well, I could tell you that
But you know what? When somebody listens to something that you're doing and you're young and they go, "Oh, oh, oh, that's exciting. Oh, that's louder. That's more impressive." It's
and especially
so
with that kind of yeah, it will
I
cut.
know. I
It will
know.
cut, but you lose all the color.
I know. And
You lose
from,
all the color.
let's say, at 18, 19, 22, whatever, it's like, "Oh, okay, so then that's what I need to do." Okay. All right. It's like, "Wait, hold on. Why am I tired after 8 seconds of saying it?"
Why can I not make it through? I mean, this is a real story, right? Why can I not make it through a 3 performance run of Rigoletto?
There you go.
It's because you were squeezing the hell out of your voice, buddy.
Right. Is that what you did?
Yes.
3 performances.
With Opera Grand Rapids and Nicole Houston and Mark Rucker.
Oh my god.
Wonderful,
Oh,
wonderful,
I
beautiful
love them both.
artists. And they were so
Oh,
supportive. And by I barely had like half a vocal cord by the last show. And they were like, "Don't worry, buddy, you're gonna make it. You've sung such a beautiful run, rehearsals." They were
yeah.
so supportive. But I mean, I was 22
I
at
was
the
just gonna
time.
say, how old are you? A
It was right
big
after
baby.
I was a baby. It was right after I won the male auditions, and Robert Lyle, God rest his soul, gave me this opportunity to sing with Opera Grand Rapids,
Yeah.
because he just wanted to help encourage and support my talent, and I
Oh, sure.
super appreciate that.
Yeah.
But Rigoletto is a beast. The Duke is a beast. Rigoletto is a beast. But like for the tessitura of the Duke and Rigoletto for that, and Jill,
I just can't imagine. Like, he sat down and he was like,
I want to write for the 3 best
"This."
singers I've ever heard.
Yeah, right? Like,
Right.
these are the roles that I want generations of singers to obviously be able to sing.
And
And when
like
you look at
kind
it,
of be the bench gold standard a little bit.
right.
Not nothing against the silver standard. For
Oh!
it's a bang up job if I say it. Yeah.
I'll tell you what. When you take a look at the roles of Rigoletto, Gilda, and the Duke,
Yeah.
you're right.
Yeah,
Like there are so many. Like, okay, if you're talking to a soprano, like, well, you sing Gilda,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? It's like it's
Right.
just well, oh, you're a Verdi baritone. You sing Rigoletto. Well, no, I don't sing Rigoletto.
But I do a
but
pretty
I
good
do a
air Germont.
well,
Germont Père.
Chamon Père.
I remember the first time I heard that, I was like, "What are you talking about, Germont Père?"
Well,
Père what?
well, the father, Alfred.
Oh, right, because we're in Paris. So
I'll tell you what.
Père.
Yeah, right. I tell you what. The first the first time
By the
that
way, I think this is gonna be our best episode.
oh, it's going to be great. The first time that I ever realized that Alfredo and I thought, oh, there's Germont and then there's Alfredo.
Of course.
Well, it's Giorgio
and
and
Alfredo.
Alfredo Germont.
Germont.
They're a father and son.
Right.
Now, look, that was maybe 20 years ago
Right.
or more.
Yeah.
But I do remember being like, oh,
Darling,
oh,
how's your
how's your
Germont
Germont
Père?
Père? Well, it's good. It's quite good, I have to say.
Yes,
I have to report. It's
indeed.
definitive, might
Yes.
one say.
Yeah.
No, 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 no. I don't mean to say that about
I've
myself.
heard it is. Yeah.
I just say this. These roles that we're talking about in the
Mhm.
opera Rigoletto, they're challenging. And I think that they're challenging for a variety of different reasons.
Sure.
And I mean, you could say that about any role in any opera.
But I would say with the
But
three of those, the high tessitura for the Duke of Rigoletto and Gilda is
I mean, let's take
it is brutal.
for any sopranos out there, let's take the role of Gilda.
Yeah.
You have a duet with Rigoletto.
Yeah.
You have a duet with the Duke. You then have and those are quite similar.
Huge.
Those
and,
are
and long.
they're
like 10
long,
minutes each.
big duets, but they are very similar in range and
Sure.
tessitura and
Sure.
everything. Then you have an aria, caro nome, completely different
Oh my
from
God.
the duets. It's like oh, now we're gonna focus on coloratura and light and high and floaty and whatever. Then you have another big duet with Rigoletto in Act 2.
Yeah.
Then you have I'm probably skipping something.
Mm-mm.
Is that it?
So you have El Mi Fu Rapita.
Yeah, but
Then you have
yeah,
you come in, and then
yeah.
she comes
And then
in.
she comes in
and
for the
then you-
duet.
That's like Tutte le Feste, right?
Yes.
But before you even is it before? Yes, before you have Cordigiani.
Well,
So
that's that's at the top of Act 2, right after Element 40.
El Mi Fu Cordigiani,
Yep.
and then she comes on and
Right.
she sings Tutte le Feste.
Yeah. And then we the Vengeance
Si
duet,
Vendetta.
Si Vendetta.
Yeah.
And that ends Act 2. And then in Act 3, we have she and I, Rigoletto and Gilda, have a little bit of but then yeah, and then
I just
the
remember
final
when we
duet.
did this in Aspen
Oh my God.
with Julie and
Yeah,
Bert.
Julie Liston. Well, Burr wasn't there.
Oh, no,
Julie was there. Young Buck Kim.
Young Buck Kip
Young
and
Buck-
Darko was
Darko
conducting.
Burtorak was
Yeah.
conducting. And who was, let's see, who else was there? Milena Pineda.
Oh yeah, Pineda.
Pineda.
Oh,
She
Milena.
was
Oh,
she was
sweetheart.
the
She's a
Magdalena.
Magdalena. It's such a fun
That was
time
the
in
first
Harris
time
Hall.
in Harris Hall in
Yeah.
Aspen. My God, that was so much fun. Anyway, my point in saying this is that
Sorry.
the duets that Gilda has, 1 with the Duke, 3 with Rigoletto, and that's the majority of the role. Then there's like interjections and stuff.
Even the quartet, though.
And the
She
quartet.
has to shout in the storm.
Oh, the
scene.
trio in the storm scene.
Oh my God.
Yeah, that's a lot of craziness too. Again, all of it is one thing, and then the caro nome is something totally different.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Now, for the role of the Duke, you have
Questo Quella.
Quella, which is
Yeah, it's
whatever.
kind of a toss off. It's like a warm up for La Donna Mobile, but El Mi Fu Rapita is real singing. That and Posente Amor, the cabaletta for that is
Oh,
tough.
right.
And lest we not slouch off the duet with Gilda, the
Act 1 duet.
yeah.
Yeah.
How's it go?
Oh,
Oh,
that's the one that goes.
Oh, it's brutal. From F, half steps up from F, straight up to the B flat. Di invidia gli uomini, sarò per te, and you go down. Di invidia gli uomini, sarò per te. And you got to do it about 3 more times.
Yeah.
It's brutal. I mean, it really.
Again, Verdi was just like, oh, yeah,
I'm just
these
gonna,
people can do that.
Yeah, I'm gonna write it for the 3 best singers I've ever heard, plus a great bass.
Oh my God. Yeah, right. And then you got to have a bass that's got the low Fs, and
What a
all
show!
those-
I mean, there are not a lot of shows that I'm like, yeah, I'd really pay $100 a ticket to go see. But Rigoletto was.
I would.
It's a
Tell you what,
cast.
it's a great cast. It's a great show.
The music is amazing. Butterfly, I also love Butterfly. Tosca, I'm an opera singer. I love opera, but there are some that I really love better.
Let's say this: Rigoletto,
others.
Butterfly, Tosca. These are great
Othello.
shows. Oh my God.
Yeah.
It's good stuff.
So anyway, so we've been snuggled up and staying close. Our kids, our families, we're all having this. I've been very thankful to my brother to let to invite me over to his house because I'm a vampire because we watched that movie last night, The Sinners.
Oh, yeah,
And
right.
because I'm a vampire, he invited me into his house, and so I
I
was able to come in.
I said, "Come on in."
And we've had a great time. We made some good food. We've spent lots of family time together. Um,
Our girls,
our girls have had a great
separately but
time.
collectively, have the day off from school tomorrow because it's so
Yes,
snowy and cold.
icy
Here, I think
in
it's
New
like
Orleans
it's gonna be -3 or 2 or
is brutal. I'll tell you this: I'm not going back tomorrow. That was my original plan, was to drive back tomorrow, and I think that that would be a unsafe, unwise decision to make. Hopefully tomorrow, they'll be able to plow the roads and I can get back to Indiana, and we will have everything in place by Wednesday for my studio class and all that. But we've had a great time singing and talking about singing,
Oh, yeah.
and we just thought that it was a fun opportunity to share this all with you guys tonight. And
Well, let's say this. Let's round out the whole
yeah,
technical approach
sure,
or pedagogical
yeah,
thoughts. I will say that again, as a reminder, I think every voice teacher, whether at a university or their private studio, they're all after the same thing, which is
sure,
to help the person in front of them get better.
yeah. Sing most beautifully with the most efficient technical execution.
Yeah, I don't think
Yeah.
that anybody would disagree with that. But I also don't think that anybody would disagree with the idea of that not everybody does that, right?
In
It's
yeah.
I'm
I
like,
mean, well, they may be trying to do it, but trying and doing it are two different things.
yeah, and I
No
think
names.
that no, but I think that it's so incredibly important for singers to be honest with their feedback to the teacher
Sure.
so that if the teacher says, "How does that feel?" Because I think that's the right question to ask
Right.
from the teacher's side of the piano. How did that feel? It's not how does that sound to you?
But that's yeah. Yeah,
Any
sure.
teacher that is encouraging a singer to listen to themselves, in my opinion, is wrong.
They're just off the mark.
They're off the
Yeah.
mark. It's all about what does it feel like to you? And then you can say, in the room, it sounds to me like this, and this.
Sure.
But what does it feel like to you? Because that's the only thing that a singer can go off of is sensation. And
Yeah,
so,
because every time we sing, we're in a different acoustic. If I sang
right,
in this room or if I sang upstairs, if I
right,
sang in the hall or the rehearsal hall, or the concert hall or the opera house, they're all gonna be different.
right.
What are you gonna do?
And just to say, it's always important that we sing in a way that we are standing center stage
Right?
on the largest stage that we've ever
Sure.
imagined. You know, whatever stage that you've stepped on that has the largest hall, that you can imagine, that's the venue that you're singing for in your own mind.
Right.
And so that being said, it is important for you, the singer, to be very, very aware of sensation.
Mm.
What does it feel like here? What does it feel like in the torso? What does it feel like? All of it. Like understanding what pushing feels like so that you know what that is.
Right.
Understanding what a stage worthy sound without pushing feels like. Understanding what a non stage worthy sound feels like, right? So if I come to sing and I'm like omnia sol tempera purus et like I
It's a
know
great choir sound.
that's a great blending choral
Yeah.
sound that would never stick out and it would always blend easily within a section.
And you need 70 other people to
But there would be, an ideal, 14 or 15, 18 other people in that same section singing the same notes and the same words that I'm singing in that same rhythm in order for that to be projected.
Right.
So it's so important that we talk about these things
I
because
agree.
rarely does it ever get spoken about, like what is
Sure.
this? What is this? And there's a
And what's
big
the difference?
yeah, exactly.
What are the differences?
Because there's a
The
big
vowel
difference.
structure, the vernacular as opposed to the
Refined,
refined, the amount of support, Are
right?
we getting a really low release breath that's going to travel and get all the bones vibrating so that, the sound travels out or not?
Yeah.
Yeah. And again, just in talking the differences between choral singing, musical theater singing, pop singing, CCM singing, whatever,
Yeah, whether you're
or
doing it with a
operatic singing.
microphone or not. I mean,
Yeah,
that's
I
the
love that
biggest thing.
Stephen King quote is like, "What are you afraid of sounding too operatic?"
Yeah, yeah,
Right?
yeah.
You know, it's like, well,
Right.
right.
Well, when I was first studying, well, first, I mean, my gosh, he's said that for the first few years that I was studying with Stephen King,
Yeah,
who is my current teacher. But he would say, "What are you afraid of? You're going to sound too operatic." And I was like,
good point.
"That's a great point.
Yeah.
That's a great point." Because I don't know why, but I would s- tend to lean just a little towards vernacular,
Yep.
uh,
Yeah.
as opposed to finding optimal operatic resonance.
Optimal space
And
and yeah.
and the idea, like, oh, yeah, exactly. I want you to all ask yourselves, are you afraid of being too operatic?
I love that.
Right?
Don't be. Don't be.
Don't be afraid. As long as you maintain the integrity of the vowel so that E still sounds like E and it doesn't sound like you know what I mean? Ah
Absolutely.
is ah, doesn't sound like you know, it's like, I don't know why all these vowels tend, if they're not the vowels, they sound like but you
Well,
know,
I think it's because, like you were saying, people tend to either one make too little space or too much space. You
right?
guys know
That's
very
right.
rarely do people get it just right, or if you get it just right, there's nothing to correct.
That's true.
Right, but
Yeah.
very honestly, yeah, like you were saying, that I didn't mean to interrupt.
No, no, no. I'm just saying, so as long as you maintain the integrity of the vowel, go ahead and make that the most operatic version that you
Yeah.
can find, and then see what it feels like and see what it's, record yourself and see what it sounds like. Because it's totally okay to see what it sounds like as long as you're listening to a recording of yourself,
Mhm.
just not in the moment. In the moment, you're attentive on what it feels
What you're doing and what
That's
it
right.
feels like,
That's right.
not what it sounds like. And on that note, stay warm. We have a lot of wonderful guests coming up here.
That's right. And I think this
Um,
is going to kick off this whole kind of pedagogical
yeah, it's kind of
uh
our next little like
section.
chapter.
Yeah, chapter. I think that's a good way to say it because we've been talking about this. We're gonna. It's there's a great book. Yeah, I'm sure everyone, or if you're not, familiarize yourself with Great Singers on Great
Oh
Singing.
yeah,
Jerome Hines wrote this book, and he interviewed all these amazing
wonderful,
singers:
world
Pavarotti,
class.
Cheryl Melons, Marilyn Horn,
Franco Corelli,
Placido
Nicolai
Domingo.
Gedda, Monserrat Caballé, Joan
Everyone,
Sutherland,
everyone.
Regine Crespo. I mean, we can go on and on and on, and we will. We're gonna kind of go through
Yeah.
each of these singers and
And
just
then our friend and colleague Robin Rice, who
yeah,
is a voice teacher at Rice University, um, wrote
incidentally,
wrote a book called "Great Teachers on Great Teaching."
of which both of our teachers are in
Yeah,
there.
Bill Schumann is in
Bill
there.
Schumann, Stephen
Stephen
King is
King is
there. It's
there.
going to be interesting.
Stephen Smith is in there.
Stephen Smith. Wow, we got a
Yeah,
lot of material to
all the
work through
people.
here.
So we're gonna talk a lot about that, and we're gonna talk maybe hopefully to some of those people,
Yeah.
and yeah, we're gonna get some good input. So stay tuned, and if you haven't already, this seems silly, but
Like
please
and subscribe,
come on,
guys.
come
Come
on,
on.
come on, come on. What are you doing? What are you doing?
Absolutely. See you next time.
Ciao.
Thanks for joining us on Between the Notes. Make sure you hit that subscribe button.
And join us next week for more behind the scenes stories, laughs, and operatic gold coming your way.